Thank you, Chairwoman Schakowsky. Today, we're continuing this committee's important work on putting consumers first. For the past few months, the subcommittee and then the full committee pushed forward the Consumer Protection and Recovery Act to restore the FTC's basic authority to get stolen money back to consumers. That urgently needed legislation passed the House last week, and I urge the Senate to take up the bill without delay. With House passage of the Consumer Protection and Recovery Act, we must take the next step, not just fixing what was broken, but improving the nation's foremost consumer protection agency and putting consumers first. The FTC initially addressed only unfair competition, which led to unjust results for consumers. But then in 1938, Congress met the moment, enacting the FTC's now core Section 5 authority to enforce against unfair or deceptive acts or practices. By granting the power to stop consumer harms, the FTC's consumer protection mission was born at that time. And over time, the FTC needed more authority to execute its mission. In '73, Congress met that moment by granting the FTC the authority to go into federal court and seek relief for consumers, including under Section 13B of the FTC Act. And these changes led to billions in relief for consumers and a more efficient way to deter illegal conduct. And the legislation that passed the House last week would restore this critical authority after it had been seriously undermined earlier this year by the Supreme Court. We are now facing another seminal moment for consumer protection. The digital age has fundamentally changed the consumer experience, but the FTC's mission to protect consumers and honest businesses remains the same. Congress must meet the moment again. It's time to bring the FTC into the modern era, to give it the tools and resources to keep up with changes in the market, and much of the legislation before us today would do just that. That legislation that would improve general rulemaking authority under the Administrative Procedure Act, would remove uniquely onerous burdens so the FTC can more efficiently provide clear rules of the road to businesses and consumers. Legislative proposals would also give the FTC civil penalty authority, which is critical to impose meaningful consequences on wrongdoers and deter other bad actors. Those reforms help industry and individuals and are essential to maximize the FTC's limited resources. There's also legislation that ends exemptions on nonprofits and telecommunications common carriers from FTC jurisdiction that also helps consumers and businesses. Consumer protection enforcement should be based on the activity, not the entity. Unfortunately, on the other hand, some proposals before us today would hinder the FTC and ultimately harm consumers. I'm concerned by the proposals that would burden staff and drain resources with needless process and reports and effectively obstruct information exchanges between the FTC and other regulators and lawmakers. The bills that I'm talking about would undermine the FTC's ability to prevent potential harms or react to unusual, unfair, and deceptive practices. Some of these bills would hurt companies by potentially forcing the FTC to reveal confidential investigations before the FTC has determined whether illegal acts have taken place or whether it will take action against the subjects of the investigations. And I believe these proposals will put the FTC on the wrong track. Now, my Republican committee colleagues have routinely emphasized the need for comprehensive consumer privacy legislation, and I agree, and that's why the committee remains hard at work on privacy. But at the same time, their legislation would effectively gut the FTC's ability to protect consumer privacy, and I believe that across-the-board deregulation and a strong federal privacy regime cannot coexist. So I thank all 5 commissioners for appearing before us. I also look forward to hearing from our expert witnesses, and I yield the balance of my time to the gentlewoman from Florida, Ms. Castor.